Hey there, it's Wasted Potential 616. Back again. Just gonna do one more comic review before I get off to sleep because I'm fucking shattered. Should probably warn you guys in advance. I can barely string a cohesive thought together at the moment, so I might struggle just with simple sentences, but I'll give it a go. Anyway, Uncanny Xmen 522, part of the overall Nation X, I wouldn't say storyline, it's more of a status quo, but the big deal with this is it's the return of Kitty Pryde, who last we saw was in a giant bullet hurling off into space. It was in Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men run, which was very good. Now, I enjoyed this issue. I think Matt Fraction can sometimes be a bit hit and miss with the X-Men, but I think he's doing a good job here. And as I say, this whole Nation X storyline I'm really enjoying. It's a status quo. It's a status quo, which, you know, it's an interesting idea. The X-Men sort of basically trying to establish a country for themselves, you know. Anyway, this basically has Magneto using his powers to bring Kitty Pryde back, and the X-Men finding out, and how they all react to it. More importantly, how Cyclops reacts to it. Now, I think this is the reason why I enjoyed this. It's kind of a character study of Cyclops in a way, and how he just deals with a big situation. There's no fighting in this, but in a kind of way it is a battle. When Cyclops first sort of realised fully what's going on, Angel's like, hey man, this is a good thing, but Cyclops is like, dude, this big bullet coming towards Earth, we don't know when it's going to get here, what's the speed, people are going to see it, there's going to be panic, we need to sort this out. It's that kind of clinical kind of thinking and decision making, which is making Cyclops a really interesting character these days. Although he's always been an interesting character, but there's real more emphasis on him, and it really separates from other leaders in the Marvel universe, the way he deals with things and the toll it takes on him. You could say Reed Richards is quite a clinical character in some regards, but he's confident with it. He's confident in his own intelligence. Cyclops almost seems like kind of a reluctant leader, but he knows he's the only one that can do it. We have a nice scene with sort of the X Club, Brain Trust sort of group, with Dr. Nemesis, not to be mistaken for the new Nemesis series. But it's interesting how they all interact with Cyclops. Cyclops basically just tells them what they need to do, you know, gets the information he needs, and he's like, alright, cool, stop the panic, you need to hide this from people. And with some science sort of babble, they figure out a way to do that. You've got that nice X-Men sort of family feel. Well, once I'll go back to the Fantastic Four, the sort of superhero family, you do get a sense of that within the X-Men, but there's such a large group, it's kind of like a family and a family reunion, you know, a big family reunion. Anyway, yeah, as I say, this is just a very good portrayal of Cyclops, really, and how he sort of designates jobs. I'm making it sound really boring, but it is really interesting, sort of how he designates jobs and just reacts to it. There's a nice little bit with Emma Frost kind of talking psychically to Magneto, and sort of talking about Cyclops and how he sort of kind of admires Magneto in a weird kind of way, you know, his ability to command people, make decisions and whatnot. It's an interesting little speech she makes, because it's kind of, she's emphasising what's being portrayed in the issue itself. It's almost not necessary, because because it's being portrayed throughout the whole book how Cyclops is dealing with everything. There's a really nice scene with Reed Richards where he's figured out what's going on, and he's like, look, okay, you've got it under control, but tell me next time, don't try and trick me. I'm Reed Richards there, and it's nice. It's a nice portrayal of him, and also it's nice to have him included in X-Men book. Sometimes with the X books, because it's such an extended family, X-Force, X-Factor, blah blah blah, the fact that they're sharing the Marvel Universe with all the other characters is sometimes forgotten. Anyway, after the first half has a lot of dialogue and blah blah blah, but when the actual event comes where Kitty Pryde comes back, it becomes a sort of more art-driven comic book, and that's illustrated by Waltz Portiasio. I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. And he uses sort of very large panels, and there's not a lot of dialogue, to emphasise sort of the grand nature of what's happening, and it almost, just the angles he uses, it's almost like you're looking up and seeing this thing coming down, and it's done very well. It's very nicely composed. Get Kitty Pryde back, she's in a bit of a state, she's phased as in completely phased. That happened to her in the Morlock massacre years ago, Mutant massacre. So there's consequences, not everything is perfect, but through some silent pages we can see that the X-Men are dealing with it. She's in like a stasis chamber. Colossus is like looking unconcerned. See Wolverine in the background as well, nice touch because they have a special relationship. Magneto himself, he's trying, used up all his power, whatnot, so he's being tended to. And then we sort of get nice little snippets of sort of some of the X-Men just kind of carrying on with their lives, which is used to sort of juxtapose with Cyclops, sort of sitting in the darkness, thinking and contemplating. This is kind of taking its toll on him, but he's dealing with it, and it's just a really nice case study of Cyclops. Now, we've got the second coming up next. I'm really excited about that. And after this issue of just sort of showing Cyclops how he deals with things, it's going to be interesting how he deals with the whole second coming thing. It really is. Now, on a quick note, there's a nice backup story where it's like these aliens, and they think the Bullet is going to come and get them and kill them, and it's a nice touch as these two sort of aliens coming together through friendship and whatnot. It's a nice little backup story, just a random kind of sci-fi story, just to, a nice little backup. That was really good. Nothing amazing, but just a nice little touch. Anyway, top marks was really good, but I'm looking more forward to X-Men Second Coming, so looking forward to that. Anyway, I'm going to head off to bed, guys. Ta-ra.